Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Thank you all for showing your support by liking the videos, commenting, and sharing the videos as well. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Today is Thursday, February the 12th. I am trying my hardest to get back more consistent with these videos, but y'all, I have been so busy. I feel like I am seeing numbers everywhere I go because of the tax season being so hectic right now. But I did want to come on and kind of speak on some things that I heard Olivia speak on. I have not been watching all of her videos. Some of her videos, I honestly just kind of been skimming through it and just kind of seeing what she's talking about according to the titles of her video. But I did want to revisit a video Olivia did. Basically, she was unpacking in her new apartment, and there was a conversation she was having that I did want to speak on. But before we get started, I do want to make it a point to say that I am glad to see that she is able, or she was able to get another place. Hopefully we will see AJ and Kalani soon. I know she had mentioned in a previous video that she should be getting her other 3 children soon. So it will be interesting to see that dynamic again with her children, seeing how time in jail translates into her interactions with her children. What I'm hoping I see is more patience that she has with her children, especially considering the amount of time she spent away from them. So yeah, we will definitely be checking that out. I don't fully understand the situation she's running into where she's getting these apartments and it seems like she keeps having these bug infestations. I don't know if it speaks to the environment that she's moving into and they just don't take care of their apartments, but I do find that to be a really bad issue. But I understand everybody has to start where they may be able to afford, and I'm not trying to nitpick on that, but it is something that I've noticed she's been dealing with a lot regardless of where she's living. I know Olivia likes to purchase a lot of things from the Facebook Marketplace, from Salvation Army. And, again, I understand some of these places are for people who are maybe not in the best financial situation and they're trying to find ways to accommodate certain things they need with what they have to work with financially. I get that. I just try to extend the other part of that where you just have to be careful because everybody doesn't keep a clean home. And especially when you're buying furniture like beds, couches, like that type of stuff, you really want to be careful because you don't know if these people had bed bugs. You don't know if they had an infestation of roaches. I mean, even if you're someone who lived in a house that had bugs, I mean, they lay eggs. And if those eggs are in the furniture, like you're just infesting your own home. So, I tend to kind of never want to go the used route, when it comes to stuff like that. Now, if you're buying electronics, something like that, that's a little different. But clothing and furniture pieces, I would be very careful about, doing stuff like that. But Olivia is basically unpacking and she's having a conversation. And I want us to get into this conversation that she's having right here.
Alright, so I'm done. Okay, I got everything together. I'm hungry. Let's go get some food on the job, but I want to finish. I want to finish. What else do I got to do? I want to put these treadmills under my bed so they're not just sitting here. It's just so heavy. That's why I need stupid ass here. But stupid ass is not here, but it's okay. I don't want stupid ass here anyway. Why am I always talking shit about him? I need to stop doing that. Let me stop. It's not good. I'm sorry, Bean. Mommy's not being nice. Okay. I wish I had Mr. Sir here. But Mr. Sir is not here, so it's all good. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it do what it do. And we damn sure I'm not gonna call Mr. Sir. Over my dead body. Our argument last night, after that argument, And he didn't even say nothing. I said everything. So there's no bouncing back from that. Like there's no coming back from what I said yesterday. I think I just sabotaged it. I think that's what I did. Yeah, I definitely sabotaged it, but it's okay because it's not. I don't want to. I don't think we're meant to be. Ooh.
So Olivia had went live in this video on Saturday, February the 7th, and I believe she got her apartment on Friday, February the 6th. And so, right out the gate, she's talking about how she's pretty much having to move a lot by herself. She's pregnant, and her baby daddy is nowhere to be found. And, we have seen this a few times. Olivia, was basically moving and driving the U-Haul while pregnant with AJ. And her baby father was nowhere to be found. You got Kalani. This girl was moving and, she was doing a lot by herself because Kalani's father was not in the picture. And so here it is. She's pregnant again. And although she is interacting with the baby father is not there to help her with this move. And so I don't know who all moved her stuff for her into this place, but if you are carrying this man's child, I would think he would be there to make sure you're not having to lift anything, do a lot of anything. Like that should be something that he should be doing the brunt of the work for because you are literally carrying his child. But again, I just feel it speaks to this pattern that Olivia has where she just does not choose the right men. And so, she's talking about how her and her baby father just got into an argument, and she's saying that she feels she self-sabotaged a lot of her relationships. And I believe to some degree, I think that's true. But I also think Olivia self-sabotages pretty much everything that has to do with her being able to really grow up and mature and become better as a woman, as a mother. She stands in her own way is basically what I'm saying. And so I just think it's sad, that this is what she shows. I mean, true that she's showing her real life when you look at it from this standpoint, but it's sad to watch because it's like this is what you're showing women who are in your community, that this is what you have to keep going through. And it's interesting too that she always makes it seem as if she's unbothered when it comes to these relationships she tries to have with men. And when things tend to go left, it's like she acts as if she doesn't care. When in reality, it's obvious she wants to be in a relationship. And I feel when things don't go the way she wants, that's when she comes on the internet and she acts as if she don't need a man, she don't want a man, she wants to be single, she loves being single. But when she's in a relationship or when there is promise of a relationship, she comes on the camera and she's all giddy and excited and she's talking about the possibilities of being married and, and it's like a back and forth that we keep seeing. And so when you see her right here saying she feels like she went too far in whatever it was they got into an argument with, she's trying to make it seem like she don't care, but in reality, she really does care. And I know that she doesn't want to end up in another failed relationship, but this has been her pattern. And I think to some degree she puts on this face to make it seem like she doesn't care, because it's almost like she's having to accept the fact that this is what she keeps getting. And at some point, she's just going to have to figure out how to navigate life as a single mother, because she doesn't understand that it's the choices of men that she's choosing, and that's part of the reason why she keeps ending up in these situations. But overall, what she's really not understanding, it's because there is a lot lacking within herself, and that's why she keeps attracting these same men.
What did you say? I can't tell you guys. I said something. I said some fucked up shit. I said some fucked up shit. But I don't care. No, I do care. Olivia, stop. Don't get mad. I'm gonna get mad. It's not that I don't care. He just needs to go and just be him, okay? Like, I don't ever want to be with another Taurus. I'm good. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that. It's too hard. And then he's old too. He's set in his ways. I don't want to. I don't want to. I just don't want to. Okay? We cannot mesh. Okay? We don't mesh. That's just what it is. So we're arguing all the time, and I don't want to argue anymore. I'm sick of arguing. So yeah, anyway. Look how peaceful this was. I feel like this was peaceful. I got a lot of shit done. It's done. I mean, it's not done. I have so much more to do, but... And just move some more shit. Oh, God, I gotta move my stuff. I gotta get all that stuff out the kitchen. Okay, I shouldn't have sat down. You guys think you're so slick asking me the questions y'all ask me. Any man I have a kid with, I think he would step up and be a good dad. Why wouldn't he? I mean, that's on them if they choose not to be. But I would think so. You know what I mean? I would think so, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is on them to step up and be a father to their children or to their child, but it also falls on you too, Olivia. See, I think it's more easier for you to put the blame on the man because they're the ones that's not wanting to stick around and be a father to the children that you're procreating with them. And so it kind of leaves you in this victimhood situation where you're this single mom who just had a child, or you're having children and the men are not wanting to help you out. So it makes you look like you're the victim. But in all actuality, you have blame too, because it's how you're choosing these men. It's the fact that you're choosing to be intimate with these men so quickly, and you're not allowing yourself to properly vet these men, to properly get to know them, to really see how they are with their children, or to see what type of part they play in the lives of their children. You could see that early on if you would allow yourself the time to see it. Because it doesn't matter if a man tells you, oh, I have children, or I have a child. It doesn't matter if they tell you, yeah, I take care of mine. And you run with that instead of actually observing to see if that's true. Because if you are giving yourself the time that you need to really get to know these men, you will be able to know what type of men they are. You will be able to know what type of fathers they are. And therefore, that will help you make the decision on how you need to proceed with them going forward. But because you don't give yourself that time to get to know these men and to really see if their actions matches up with their words, you end up in these same situations. So you share part of that responsibility in why you're procreating with these men and you're raising children who are not having fathers in their lives. And I think that's sad that you keep repeating this same cycle.
Why wouldn't I think so? But I don't care about that. I mean, I guess I should have cared, but I don't really like... When I had my 3 other babies, my 3... After my older 3, I didn't care about the man. I didn't care about the man because I already had what you guys think is the perfect man, right? On the outside, I made him look pretty good on the internet, right? So I already had that. I had the marriage, I had the kids, I had the relationship, and look how he turned out. Because I thought that was a bee. That's that fucking ceiling fan. Oh, I heard buzzing. So, yeah, I didn't care about that anymore because he turned out to be, who he is. So, anyway, Someone said not Z. No, even Z. I thought he was going to be decent, you know? Because they all pretend, you know, they all pretend like they care about their kids, and they all do the pretend game. They pretend that they're a good this and a good that, and but I don't care. Like I keep saying, I don't care. I take care of my kids. I take full responsibility of my kids. Nobody's on child support. I'm not going to force you to give a fuck about your child. It's not my job. And yeah, you know, just everybody live and let live. You feel me? Like, I don't care. That's on them. Can you imagine, like, missing out? Like, when I think about people missing out on my kids, I'm like, you're missing out on AJ? AJ is, like, so much fun. AJ is such a cool kid. And then Kailani's, like, the cutest little freaking little bundle of cuteness.
The same way you are, speaking this to the fathers of AJ and Kalani, it's the same way I know for myself, and I'm sure others can agree, are saying that same sentiment to you. Because yeah, we clearly see AJ is very, like, bright, and he's fun, and he's intelligent, and he's such a cool kid, as you said. And even Kalani is so precious. And yet, even though you can say this and say that, the fathers are missing out, the same applies to you as well, because it's like, how do you see that you have these amazing children, but yet we have seen you over the years mistreat them so horribly? We've seen you not really care enough to want to make Kalani look like the precious, beautiful little girl that she is. The same way you love to say how smart AJ is, you put him in situations where you make him out to be a liar. The same way you say he's such this cool kid, and it's fun for you when you're having him repeat things after you, and when he says things where he's mimicking you, and he's doing things where he's mimicking you, you think that's fun, and you think that's cool, and you think that's cute. But the other sides of what you show when it comes to how you are with AJ is hard to watch. So it's like, it can't be both. It can't be, I have these amazing kids and the fathers are missing out. When you have these same amazing kids, and the majority of the time you don't want to be bothered, you're fussing and cussing at them, you're constantly, yelling at them, you're telling them to get out of your face, you're being so mean and rude and disrespectful towards them, you're showing neglect, you're showing that you really don't want to be a mother. And it's like, how can you expect women to sympathize with what you're saying right here when you're guilty of doing the same thing? You may not have, like, completely walked out of your children's life, but there are a lot of things that you have done when it comes to your children where you have checked out. And this is why I'm hoping that this reality check that you just experienced, being in jail for 43 days, I'm hoping it changed your whole outlook of not just you as a mother. I mean, not just you as a woman, but as a mother. Because that is the part right there where I feel it really needs a wake-up call. Because you're very fortunate, Olivia, to be a mother. You're very fortunate to be able to have children. You're pregnant with another child. And so I would hope that it won't keep being the same that you show on this internet. Even if it's behind the internet, I would hope that you would show more patience to your children. You would show more love to your children. You would show more care, where you care about what they look like. You care about, them being healthy and not being sick all the time. Being responsible as a mother, as a parent, as a caregiver, as a nurturer. That's what I'm hoping I see different when it comes to your children.
She's so cute. That's on them. Okay, shit. That's their loss, honey. Not my baby's loss. Because I feel like I will, and I pretty much can foresee a lot of things. I'm going to find, one of these days, God's going to send me this man that's, like, so amazing. And I don't think he's meant to be, like, one of my kids' fathers. I think he's just meant to, like, come in and, like, love me good and like be the man who like shows me, you know, what it's all about. And take care of my kids with me and just be there with me and, you know, just do all the fun things with me. I really see that in my future. I really do.
You said that the fathers are the one missing out, but not your children. How do you figure that? Because, yeah, the fathers are missing out because they're choosing not to be in your children's life. But how do you feel your children are not missing out? Because just because they have you doesn't mean that's going to make them whole. A child should always have both parents. And yeah, sometimes situations can happen where, unfortunately, a child can be without one parent. Sometimes a child can be without both parents, but it's never for the betterment, usually for that child. I don't feel you're really seeing this correctly, because for you to say your children are not missing out, I think that's sad that that's your viewpoint, because I would think you would understand the effects of what not having a father looks like growing up, considering you yourself went through that. And so to say that it's the best thing for a child to not have access to another parent, I think that's a sad way of viewing this whole situation. Now, don't get me wrong, there are situations where the parents don't need to be involved in a child's life. Like, I'm not being, clueless on that. But I'm speaking more so in the sense of, if you're just solely saying that because you and the father of the child was just not able to get y'all stuff together, and so therefore y'all went y'all separate ways, and you're saying it's no loss to the child that the parent is not involved, I just think, again, you're not really understanding the situation, because a child is always going to feel a sense of void as they get older, because these kids are always going to be around other kids where they're seeing their moms, their dads, whether they're at school, whether you take them to the park, whether you take them to the movies, like what have you. Their children are going to see other children with their fathers. And you yourself know that AJ was thinking all kind of men were his father. And so it's like, for you to try to convince yourself that it's not their loss, I mean, again, you're being in denial right now. Your children will forever feel a sense of void as long as the other parent is not involved in their life.
Deadbeats always come back around and want a relationship with their kids once they're teens or grown. I don't think so. I've seen a lot of people just be ghosts. I think that the kids, reach out, because it doesn't matter. Even if you have a parent who didn't care or wasn't there, the kid is always going to be curious to know, well, who is this guy? Who is this woman? Whatever, like, they want to know who their parent is, you know what I mean? And that's why I leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. Other than me not being a hater, I want my baby to have that. You know what I mean? If that's what they want when they get older. If they want to know who their other parent is, I'll tell them, and they can look it up and get their answers. Whatever answers. Never leave the door open. That's not up to me. I'm not God. That's why I keep telling y'all, I'm not God. Unless it was like a person who would like harm my child, like for real, then yeah, you protect your child. But if it's not that type of situation, you don't close that door. That's not right.
I mean, I do get what she's saying. I just feel like, if she's saying in one breath that it's not the child's loss if the father chooses to not be around, but then she says in the next breath that she understands that a child at some point will have questions and want to seek out that absent parent, I just feel that it's kind of confusing for her to have both viewpoints, because you can't really have one without the other. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just feel like because Olivia's situations have been the same, where, she's gotten pregnant and the father is not present in the child's life, she has adopted this ideology that makes sense to her, although it just doesn't make sense in general. I feel that Olivia makes a lot of excuses because she doesn't want any situation where she's at fault or she shares some of the fault. She's going to try to flip that in a way where she can remain the victim. And I just think it's unfair when it comes to her children, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that's suffering the most. And so, even though, Olivia has also made it a point to say here, and, she said this many times, where she believes that she will be able to find someone that will step in and love her and her children the way they deserve to be loved. I just feel that, you know, Olivia is not being realistic here. I'm not saying that couldn't happen, because we definitely have seen that happen in many people's lives. I just feel that Olivia, again, is really not seeing that you can't expect someone to come into your situation and completely fix everything and you not have to fix anything. You understand? Like, it's like Olivia wants somebody to come in and wipe the slate clean for her and for her children and for the situation she put herself in. And she doesn't have to do any of that hard work herself to try to fix those same situations. And I just feel that those expectations that she's putting on a man to come in and do is really being unrealistic. And so the best way you're going to be able to see that situation come to fruition is when you yourself do the work, the inner and the outer work, to make your situation what it needs to be. So, yeah, but we're going to move on to a more recent live that Olivia did, and we're going to see what's going on here.
In full, and I have so much to do tomorrow. I have to get the baby's room together because I'm about to go get them. I'm so happy. So I want to make their room, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's going to be a whole nother thing. How are you feeling mentally? I feel great. I feel great. I feel fine, y'all. I feel good. I feel good. Thank you for asking me that question. I feel good. I just feel like missing, like parts of me are missing, and it's just my kids, parts of me are over there, parts of me over there, and it's like I want to feel that wholeness again. I want them to come to me and just be with me, because I just miss all of them so much. But yeah, I can't wait to have them all here. But AJ and Kailani are with me all the time, so it's so freaking weird to not be with them. And they're so loud and they're noisy, and I'm just so used to the noise. It's so quiet. I don't like it being so quiet. That's probably why I'm always blasting music, because I'm just I'm used to it being loud and the kids screaming and running, and I can't wait to see them. I know they'll be with me soon. I know. Oh! Did I even tell you guys the good news? My ex-neighbor, she still has my cats. My cats! So I'm gonna go get my kitties. But when I come back from picking up my babies, she still has them. I can't wait to see my kitties. I can't wait to see them. I don't know where I'm gonna put their little bed. It's a whole nother thing. Their little cat bed thing. I know, my kitties. I'm so happy.
So Olivia has been making mention of, catching a flight, and it's so she can get Kalani and AJ. I know some people were suspecting that Jen had her children, but I kind of felt they were with Stella. And so, obviously Stella lives in California. So that was pretty much what I was suspecting, that Stella had got her children and took them back with her to California. So Olivia has been saying that she's going to be taking a flight, because she was on a live, I think it was prior to this one where she was online trying to book a flight for that very purpose, to go get her children. So that's pretty much what she is saying that she's going to be doing soon. She hasn't really gave a specific day when she's going to be going to get her children yet, but I'm assuming soon. I'm thinking maybe Stella wanted to give her some time to settle in, get the place situated before she came to get the kids. So yeah, that's pretty much the situation there. Now she's saying that she is planning on getting her two cats back. So y'all know before she got locked up, she had adopted two kittens. And her ex-neighbor, she said, is the one who took the cats off of her. And now she is going to be getting them back. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
Like, I'm not mad at him. I just want him to change. So it's like, I don't want to sleep with him until he changes. So I know if he's over here, I'm going to sleep with him. So it's good. He just needs to stay away from me. Does that make sense? Like, just stay away. Because you're going to come over here. I'm going to tell you we're not going to have sex. He's going to be like, okay, no problem. He's going to come over here and then it's going to go down. So, no, he doesn't. He actually lives with his mom and his stepdad. Both of his parents are, I don't know if I want to say that. His mom is not well. Like, she's going through some stuff. Well, anyway, it's not my business to tell. Anyway, he's there helping out his mama. But yeah.
I mean, if this is true, I guess that would explain, my question that I had, because I was trying to figure out, like, if she had been locked up this whole time and she freshly gets out of jail, he picks her up from jail, why would he take her to a hotel instead of taking her to his place? So I was like, either he's with somebody or he don't have a place and he's living with somebody. Like, that was where my mind was going. But she's saying that he pretty much stays with his parents because he's taking care of, well, she only made mention of the mom. So I don't know the situation with the father, but he's living there helping to take care of his mother. So, yeah, he's in his 40s. It is a different type situation, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But, I will give credit on that. I mean, because everybody's situation is different. So that's pretty much why she couldn't go to his place, is because he stays with his parents. So with that being said, I mean, what else can you say about that? I mean, again, we're kind of going off of what she is giving us. So, that's pretty much that.
Stay focused on your kids. Girl, I'll always be focused on my kids. I'm always focused on my kids. I heard somebody say something, I put men before my kids. How? When have I ever put a man before my kids? Can somebody give me an example? I know I have so many supporters, but I have a lot of haters that are obsessed with me and love to watch me too. I know you're in here, haters. So go ahead and tell me, when have I ever put a man, the only time I ever can think, because I'm a real bitch and I can admit my wrongs, the only time I ever put a man before my kids was my first child's father, my first kid's father. I definitely put him before my kids in the sense of, like, what the fuck was I thinking? Chasing his stupid ass. You understand? Like, fuck is wrong with me? I should have put my kids first and not did that stupid shit. But I didn't. But anyway, that's the only nigga I could think of.
Well, considering Olivia asked the question, I'm going to answer it the best I know how. Anytime you put your children's safety on the back burner, you're putting a man over your children. And to make that more plain, we have seen you, Olivia, many times move men into your home with your children, and you don't even know these men. You don't know really anything about them. You don't take time to really date these men, really get to know them, know their background before you move them into your children's home. That's number one. Number two, anytime you put your children's safety in harm's way just so you can have a man at your house is another example of you putting a man over your children, because again, you don't really know these guys. And so, because you don't really know them, and you have innocent children that are vulnerable to these men coming and going, and you are passed out, you're asleep, you're in another room on social media, and your children are left to have to, again, be vulnerable to these men, that is a dangerous situation. Another example is you allowing men who you don't know to discipline your children. You are letting them yell at your children, cuss at your children, hit your children. That's putting men over your children. Another example, when we clearly see your children asking for food, they are hungry, and you don't really cook meals for your children. But yet, when you have a man over, you're cooking them 3-course meals. That's putting men above your children. When you spend more time taking care of a man, caring about what they want, what their needs are, and you do bare minimum when it comes to your own children, that's putting a man over your children. I can keep going, but I'm just giving you some examples of what I have seen along the way since I've been watching your channel, where this is clear that this is what you do consistently. You put men over your children. Now, you may not want to acknowledge these things, but it doesn't take away from the fact that this is what has been done repetitively.
I always focus on my kids. My kids are always my number one priority. Always have been, except for that glitch in the Matrix, and always will be. Y'all was a family. When I think of him, I don't think of us as ever being a family. I think of, I was so lost. I was so fucking lost in whatever the fuck I thought that was. I thought that was true love. That was not true love. That was me losing myself in a person. So that's what that was, and it will never happen again. And it was just only because I was with him for so long, and that was like my first everything. You know what I mean? That's all. And there's a fucking roach on my ceiling. I don't want it to fall on me. It fell. I knew you were gonna fall, you nasty, disgusting vermin. No, where are you going? I gotta kill you, bro. Ew. Fucking nasty shit, bro. What you trying to do? You were trying to escape somewhere and go somewhere? Where are you trying to go? Whenever I set off those bombs, they be climbing to the ceiling. Like, where do they think they're going? No, they climbed to the ceiling. That one climbed to the ceiling. It had to. I was say, did it come from the vent? It didn't, though. That shit scared me. I was like, I know it's gonna fall, and then bam, it fell. I don't think I'm gonna be here on Valentine's, but if I am here, I'm gonna take myself out. That's what I'm gonna do. But I don't want to be here. I want to be with my babies. Like, I want to go get them already. I don't know. We're gonna see. Yeah, I did bleach my place down. Thank you. Follow me on TikTok if you guys are not following me on TikTok. I know I never put men before my kids. I sure don't. There's a lot of bitches on here that do, that could, that would, but I always be wondering. People talk so much shit, but don't have nothing to back it up. I'm still waiting for the compilation videos. Wasn't there supposed to be a compilation video of me hurting my kids or doing something to my kids or neglecting them or all the shit that they say I do? Where is it at though? Where's it at though? I've been waiting for it. And I don't want to see one of me yelling at AJ and screaming at the kid. I don't want, bitch, I'ma scream. I'm still gonna scream. Guess what? When they get their asses over here, I'ma go right back to screaming. Sure am. Sure the am. I'm gonna always yell at my kids. The fuck you thought this was? To ever say that you're not gonna yell at your kids, you're crazy.
Wow. I mean, that's very unfortunate because it seems as if her time away did not change that at all. Her thinking that the way she is with her children, she doesn't see anything wrong with it still. And that's very sad. I also think it's very weird that she keeps asking for this compilation video. And she was like, I don't want to see any videos of me yelling at AJ or, what have you. But there's plenty of videos, Olivia. Like, I don't know why you need all the videos to be compiled together. But there's a lot of videos that shows your neglect when it comes to your children. It shows how you really don't parent well when it comes to your children. There's a lot of videos of that. And there's a lot of video proof that actually does back up. I know what I'm saying. Like, I literally show your own clips of your lives that you don't have a problem showcasing here on the internet, and I highlight the behaviors, and it's very clear to anybody watching that there is a lot of poor parenting going on over there. There is a lot of neglect going on over there, and there's a lot of verbal abuse going on over there. Now, you can take it as you yelling and cussing at your children is normal. No, ma'am. I don't care how many times you say it's normal and how many ways you try to normalize that behavior. Nothing about that is normal. And everybody don't do that. And to try to make it seem like people who do that with their children, they are the ones who are the good parents. Like, that's crazy to me. The whole situation is crazy because you're really trying to make it seem like the videos that have been put out when it comes to this channel, because I can't speak for anybody else, but when it comes to this channel, OneLove, it's very interesting how you're trying to act as if the videos didn't speak for themselves. I mean, how do you lie about your behavior and how you are as a mom when you're caught in action? Like, that's crazy to me. But again, I know you are the one that likes to, project and deflect from your reality on things. And as always, you don't want to take accountability for the wrong that you are doing towards your children. So therefore, you try to spin it as if this is normal parenting, and it's far from it.
Yelling at your kids is not abuse. Yelling at your kids is getting your kids all the way together. And if you have to do that, then you have to do that. And the real mamas know that.
Wow. I mean, she basically just said what I suspected. Like, this girl is really trying to flip definitions around. So in your world, you think yelling is not abusive. It's actually just getting your child together. That is insane to me. But because Olivia seems to always want to try to recreate, her own ways of seeing the world and her own ways of, trying to, say what is normal and what is not, what's right and what's wrong. Like, let's just be very clear when it comes to verbal abuse. Common signs of verbal abuse, and this is me using Google, okay? Common signs of verbal abuse includes yelling, ongoing and repeated yelling or speaking in an aggressive tone. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Criticizing, giving someone non-constructive remarks that are deliberately hurtful. How many times have we heard Olivia criticize AJ? She has called this little boy slow. She has called this little boy a bully. She has called this little boy the N word. She has made this little boy out to be a liar in front of everybody because she didn't want to tell her truth. She has said multiple times, he talks too much because she doesn't like the fact that he tells the truth. Like, there is so many hurtful things Olivia has said about this little boy. Also, signs of verbal abuse is swearing and name calling. Ding, ding, ding. Belittling someone by calling them hurtful names, swearing at them, or putting them down. And you want to tell me that you don't do this to AJ, Olivia? You do this to your other 3 children, Christian, Robin. What did you tell your oldest daughter? She needed to close her legs, and you said it in front of the whole internet. You did it to embarrass her. You did it to shame her. You did it to hurt her. That is verbal abuse, Olivia. So I don't care how many times you try to spin your own definitions over there. Words are what they are. Actions are what they are. You cannot keep flipping over there thinking that it's going to stick and nobody's going to call you out on your stuff. You are very much guilty of everything that you can look in any source besides Google, and it will show you, it will tell you exactly what verbal abuse is. Screaming and shouting, mocking. Like, you do that with your children. We ain't even talking about emotional abuse. Like, you're guilty of that too. I think it's insane that you're sitting here trying to tell people you ain't really saw what you think you saw. You didn't really hear me, say all the things I actually said. That's manipulation, Olivia. Like, this is insane, listening to this right here.
Like, it's just so hard for me to be fake. Like, I can't be fake with y'all. I have to be real. I'm sorry. If I'm too real for y'all, then just don't watch me. Because I don't have time for the fake shit. And I don't care what anybody thinks. That's another thing. People want to shame me and put me down and make me feel some type of way because of my life decisions and the fact that I broadcast this shit. I broadcast this shit because this is what I want to do. Not because I have to. Not because I need to. Not because da-da-da-da-da. I do this because I want to do this. And I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks. No, it irritates me because somebody was on my live earlier talking about, you're never going to learn. Bitch, if that's how you feel, then why are you still here? I feel like maybe I'm stressing you out. The other day, y'all were telling me I was stressing you out. I have a platform where I can come on here and be who the fuck I am unapologetically, and I don't care. And I get people to tune in from all over the world, people to talk about me all day long, run my stories up, run my numbers up, like, and you think I'm ashamed of something because it's different from everybody else's? No. And I hope I'm showing you women, don't ever feel ashamed. I don't care which, I am going to order my pizza. I don't care what your story looks like. Never be ashamed of your story, your life, your testimony, where you come from, what you've been through. Never be ashamed of that shit. And it's dusty, crusty, loser hoes that will always try to make a bitch feel bad about something. When, honestly, it's like projection. It's the weirdest thing. I don't fucking get it. But yeah, y'all. It's freedom. It's complete freedom, Lady K. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. Why should I ever feel... And if you really have faith in God and believe in God, why would I ever care what a fellow human thinks? Unless it's my mama or my kids. I don't give a fuck what no one thinks. You understand? Like, I mean... Amen to that. Total freedom. Freedom. Inner freedom. Yes.
Wow. This is really sad to me, because you would think having 43 days to really think and reflect over your life, over your situations, over your decisions, over just everything that you have gone through up into that moment where you literally are looking around your surroundings and you are behind a jail cell. And this is what you come out with. This is your thought process. This is your take on life and where you are right now in life. It's very disappointing, because for her to say she wants to be free to do whatever she does, it's like basically saying, I want to be free to be however I choose to be as a woman and as a mother, regardless of how wrong it is. I want to be free to treat my children any kind of way and not have any pushback. I want to be free to be reckless with my body and to keep making bad decisions when it comes to men and not get any pushback from it. This is basically what she's saying. And I think this is insane. Because not only did you say that, now you want to incorporate God into the conversation as if God subscribes to that thought process. Because that is not the life experience, nor is it the revelation you're supposed to be receiving if you're wanting to incorporate God into this. Because that is not how this works here. There is supposed to be a understanding that you come to, Olivia, where you can see finally that the choices that you've been making thus far, there's some problems with that. The way you have been as a mother and how you treat your children, there's some problems with that. And for you to now want to project that onto other people as if we're the ones who are wrong, we're the ones who are actually projecting onto you, and we're shaming you for your bad choices and how you are as a mother, that is insane to me. Because you can't sit here and say, on one hand, I'm going to continue to fuss and cuss and yell at my children for however long I choose to, but then on the flip side, you want to sit here and talk about your testimony and how, you should be able to not be shamed for the things that you have gone through, as if you have gone through a period of time where you have made bad choices, but now you're at a place where you can finally see the truth. Therefore, what you went through, that was your testimony, because now you've come out on the other side, healed, whole, and you have a right perspective. But that's not your situation. You are still in the same situation, and you want to talk about a testimony, girl. You don't have a testimony until you have come out on the other side of what it was you went through that was incorrect. Like, girl, what are you talking about? And see, this is what makes it so difficult to really try to give you the benefit of the doubt, because you come on here and you speak a bunch of words because you think it sounds good and it makes no sense. And then you want to act as if people who do got common sense and they clearly see your mess and they see the manipulation in what you're saying, you want to refer to those people as haters. Like, this is insane to me that you speak all these word salads and you say things that you think is going to get a reaction in a positive way because you're incorporating God into the conversation, but God ain't got nothing to do with what it is you got going on over there. Not fully. Now, was he responsible in you ending up in jail? Look, yes. That was God's way of trying to get you to get to a quiet place with no distractions in hopes that he could get a hold to you. But your heart is so hardened, Olivia. You refuse to acknowledge where you go wrong. You pick and choose what you want to acknowledge. That ain't how it works. You got to admit all of it. You have to show accountability for all of it, not some of it. Like, ooh wait, this is sad. You just keep coming on here and you keep proving the people right, Olivia. That is what's very unfortunate. You keep proving the people right when they say you're not going to change. And you should feel a certain way about that. Because you always come on here talking about y'all don't know me, y'all don't know me, y'all ain't never spent the day with me, y'all ain't never met me in real life. But how is it that people keep reading you correctly? How is it that people keep getting it right with you? And I ain't saying everything, but it's a lot of stuff that's being said, and you keep proving them right when you come on here and you speak like this, especially when your butt just got out of jail, girl. Like, what are we doing here? Oh my gosh, this is sad. This is sad. But carry on, girl. I mean, you doing your big one, right? You showing the people, you proving to the people that you can do whatever you want. But guess what? Keep doing everything you're doing, and we're going to see what plays out in a year or two. Like, girl, I don't understand it. I don't know why you are that hard-headed. This is sad.
Life is a journey, and life takes you through so many ups and downs, but it's only to teach you. And I want you guys to know that, like, even in your hardest times, you have to understand that those are your greatest times. Some of them are your greatest times. You might not see it in the moment. You guys might not recognize that shit. But the person you become from that hard time is amazing. Is undefeatable. Is unrecognizable type shit. So it's like, I don't know.
The person you become in your hard times can be amazing if you actually allow yourself to learn through the ups and downs that life has us go through. See, you want so desperately to be in a position where you can motivate and encourage and inspire others. And the element that's missing in you being able to be that, Olivia, is you take your own advice. See, you're trying to act as if you're speaking from a whole person. Someone who has been there, done that, learned it, experienced it, gone through it, got everything they needed to get from it. They're healed. They have a right mind, a right perspective, a right attitude. And now they are in a position to give back. You're not there, girl. Could you be? Yes. But you are not doing the work. You're skipping around. You're picking and choosing. Okay, I'll do this, but I don't want to do that. That's not how that works with life. And yeah, life will definitely take you through some ups and downs, but guess what? Every time life takes you through something and you refuse to listen, you're going to keep repeating that experience. And that is what keeps happening to you, Olivia, because you're being hard-headed. You're being stubborn. You're not taking in everything that you're supposed to get from the situations that life is putting you through. You're taking some of it, but not all of it. So therefore, yeah, what you said is correct, but you're not in a position to even speak that because you're not doing it yourself. Since you've been on this internet and showcased your life in all the facets that you have experienced and gone through, and people have watched and observed, you have not come out on the other side fully healed. Because you keep making the same mistakes. You're on baby number 3 by 3 different baby fathers. So how are you in a position to talk about life journey and how it teaches you? What exactly are you learning from the things that you keep going through, Olivia? Like, this is sad to me that you really are not getting it. And it doesn't matter how many conversations like this you try to have on your channel, it doesn't change the fact that you are not in a position to have these conversations. Like, this is sad that you yourself is not seeing the patterns here that's happening in your life. You always want to gravitate to God, but you don't do it in the moments where you need to the most. Because if you was really bringing God into your situations, this stuff won't keep happening. And so, yeah, life can teach you. Life can make you come out on the other side of it so whole and beautiful and full of wisdom. But it can also do the opposite. It can cause you to be hardened, reserved, closed off, and mad at the world. But look, I guess in Olivia's eyes, I will forever be a hater. Anybody that tries to tell this girl the truth, they will always be a hater in her eyes. And I think it's sad and unfortunate that you would rather gravitate to people who are not really trying to tell you the truth. They're just trying to keep you on their good side, or they're kissing your behind, or they're not even in a position themselves to tell you the truth. You would rather gravitate to those people than actually take into consideration what other people outside of your circle is saying. Because real people, they're not going to sit here and just tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you the truth. And that's what I see a lot of people doing, especially when it comes to my community. They're trying to tell you the truth, but you keep refusing to listen. Therefore, you're going to continue to go through life repeating mistakes, repeating situations that could be avoided. But because you're being hard-headed, because you're being stubborn, and because you don't want to listen to anybody, because you think you got all the answers, you're going to continue to have a hard life. And I think that is so unfortunate, Olivia, because you don't have to continue to have a hard life. But with that being said, I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. It's One Love, and I'm out.